Ahead and get started. So my name is Jonathan and I'm with Tocker. And I'm going to take you guys through our platform that we just launched here in January. So Tocker is a new trading platform. It's completely web-based. It supports futures, forex, and equities. Within Tocker are intuitive social charts that allow you to follow leaders' trades and copy their trades in real time to your existing broker account. We also have a patented codeless drag and drop algorithm creator where you can create automated trading strategies and then you can do them without writing any lines of code and start running them and trading them automatically with your existing broker account. You have the capability to then sell those strategy signals to others through the platform. We have an automated indicator monitor called a Tocker score, which I'll take you through during the presentation. And I'll also show you guys how our global network of trading leaders are giving out and selling many different products beyond just what I've just talked about above, all through their verified profiles. We have a fully featured educational marketplace powered by an exclusive partnership with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And we have support for many different retail brokerages and asset classes, all in the box as a part of your subscription to Tocker. So I'm going to start by playing a couple of informational videos, and then we'll go right into the platform.
Tocker is an intuitive trading platform that connects investors and traders to top trading leaders. Our powerful technology puts sophisticated trading tools into the hands of the people so that users of all trading levels have the tools needed to become educated and successful traders. Tocker has a bevy of trading tools for investors to either create on their own or subscribe to from leaders. These include powerful signal generators called Tocker scores. You can create a Tocker score to fire based on market conditions that you define. Automated trading strategies that use our drag and drop codeless algorithm builder. Trade ideas coming in real time on our social charts from leaders that you follow. Live trading rooms where you can join to watch your favorite leaders in action all day and chat with them live. Educational courses, newsletters, and more. Tocker is here to bridge the gap between novice and professional traders. We are broker agnostic, support most major brokers, and we do not collect any broker fees. Most importantly, Tocker is transparent. We only show verified trades and performance to ensure that our leaders' quality is unquestionable. Subscribe to Tocker today.
Great, and I have one more video for you guys on the leader side of the platform.
Subscribe as a Tocker leader. Tocker is the solution leaders have been seeking to monetize their following, gain exposure to new audiences, and showcase their expertise. Our leaders can be as creative as possible in selling their trading methods. Tocker leaders represent all asset classes, including forex, equities, futures, and options. Tocker allows leaders to create a profile which includes a video, description, links to their social media, and verified trading performance created on Tocker. Create a live room to broadcast and sell charts and trades without any complicated software. Create and sell Tocker scores, a custom codeless signal generator. Sell courses and lessons through our educational platform. Sell newsletters through our newsletter portal. Create, backtest, and sell automated trading strategies through our patented drag and drop codeless algorithm builder. Import external strategies from other sources to sell in our marketplace. Build a verified track record with real money or simulated trades placed through our platform. Tocker's mission is to provide the tools necessary for leaders to gain exposure from the next generation of traders. Leaders can set their own pricing for their products and can offer them for free or at a free trial. With Tocker, the freedom to monetize trading knowledge is now completely within their hands. Subscribe to Tocker as a leader today.
Okay, great. So I'm going to take you guys through the platform, and if anybody has any questions, just go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll go through them.
Just on these two videos, just one quick question comes up.
Yeah.
The automatic trading strategy, will that automatically place a trade?
Yeah.
If the strategy is satisfied?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so Just to give you guys a quick overview of our current partnerships that we have in process or that we already have established. We have tons of partners and existing brokers that are part of the Ticker Tocker platform already, and many more coming on board as well. So chances are that you can use your existing brokerage account with your Ticker Tocker platform account. Built into Ticker Tocker are social charting tools, which allow you to get what we call trade ideas. Included in that is a very powerful simulator that is built in the Ticker Tocker platform that allows you to place trades and experience real market conditions, all without actually having to put any real capital at risk. You can also use simulated accounts from our broker partners, such as Interactive Brokers, at the same time if you would rather use one of their simulators instead. So rather than just talking about it, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys it. So to get to the trade ideas portion of the platform, you go into the menu and click on Trade Ideas, at which point you'll be presented with a list of ideas on the left panel from our various leaders. To find more leaders who you'd like to subscribe to in terms of their trade ideas, you can go into the left panel and you can go to Choose Leaders, and you can find many, many different leaders who are offering different ideas among many different asset classes, including futures, forex, equities, options, and more. As you go through the left panel, subscribing to a leader's ideas is just as easy as clicking on subscribe. And then quickly after doing that, you can then cycle back and go to the list of ideas that the leaders are generating if you'd like to copy those trades to your existing broker account, or if you'd just like to be trading them on your own outside the platform as well. You can filter the ideas on the left panel by trades, ideas, charts, and more. And if you like one of the ideas that are coming in, you can click on the copy button, which will copy that trade right to the right panel, where you can then choose which broker account you would like to execute that trade through if you would like to go ahead and copy it. If you're a leader on the platform, meaning that you're selling access to your trade ideas through the platform, you could click on this button here that says Share as a Verified Trade, and then any trade you place in the platform will be distributed to your followers, as simple as integrating it into your existing order flow. We also have the capability to trade from the chart. So if you're on the chart, you can click with the left click, and then you can institute a trade right at the current bar's price or historical bar's price simply by clicking on it right from the chart, just like that. Just to quickly go through, there are many other different types of trade ideas besides verified trades as well. You can share the charts that you're looking at on social media and distribute them as a trade idea at the same time. So for instance, if I wanted to share this chart that I'm looking at right now, I could maybe go ahead and add some indicators to it if I wanted to mark it up. I could add annotations to it if I wanted. So say that I want to talk about how this is like a great divergence in the the GA&UG that I'm looking at. And I could go ahead and I could add lines and different types of annotations on top of it. And then all I would have to do to share it to all of my different social media channels as well as to my followers would just be to select the social media channels that I wanted to distribute it to, click on Post as an Idea, and then everybody would get access to my chart just that easily, all from one place. We also have the capability for leaders to place text ideas. A text idea is very similar to a tweet or a stock twit, but it can also include an image on our platform as well. And posting those ideas is, again, just as simple as going to the left panel and adding in your image, text, and description that you want to distribute to your followers. So that, in a nutshell, is our trade ideas functionality. One of the most important, yep?
Can you see the batting averages of the people you follow?
Yep, absolutely. And that's a great segue. So when you go to the leaders portion of the platform, we track all the trades that the leaders are placing in real time with these interactive calculators that allow you to see their historical performance and to understand which capital they put at risk with real money and with simulators, so that way when you're deciding if you want to follow a leader's trades, you can accurately decide how and if you want to follow them. And just to kind of put that into perspective, we are a registered investment advisor and CFTC member firm. And so because of that, we take custodianship for all of the different trades that the leaders are placing through our platform, meaning that none of the statistics or trades that are shown in Ticker Tocker were imported externally from other places, and all the trades that are in Ticker Tocker had to have been placed during real live market conditions, and we have to mark them as being done with a simulator or done with real money. So nothing in the platform is hypothetical, nothing in the platform is done in a way where you could not have done the trade yourself, and you will, after subscribing to any of these leaders, have access to the verified trades in real time in order to be able to place trades along with them.
Question. The charts are uniform in color.
You can completely customize the style of the chart as much as you'd like. So if I was to go back to the charting piece of the application, you could go into the left panel and you could go to Settings. And you could go to Configure Visible Elements, and then you could change the theme if you wanted a dark theme. You could go ahead and change any of the different portions of the graph. So you could change the text of the crosshair, a negative bar, the candle wick, the y-axis, pretty much anything in the platform that you would want to customize visually, you could go ahead and you could change it, including how many bars you want to see at any given time, and what color do you want annotations, and all different types of things like that as well. Yeah, so the next part of the platform is what we call live broadcasts or live rooms. So a live broadcast in Tocker is when one of our leaders goes live from their profile, so that way their followers can see what it is that they're trading, whether it's them sharing their screen or talking themselves as well. So if I was to go to the leaders portion of the platform and go to one of our leaders' profiles, such as Stephen Kalajian's, I can see this yellow button appear after I had subscribed to them that says Join Now. If I click on the Join Now button, then I would be taken into their live broadcast, and I would see, in this case, him sharing his chart. If he was himself behind his camera, he could go ahead and share his video that way. And for a leader, it's very, very easy. In order to start a live broadcast, all they have to do to start a live broadcast is to go to their profile, set their schedule. So today is Monday. So I'm live, I click on Start Broadcast, and then anybody who wanted to come into my live room could quickly come into my live room, and I could also go ahead and share my screen as a leader right from the live broadcast right in my browser. So I've started sharing my screen, and then I could quickly go back, let's say, to the chart. And now anybody who would be in my live broadcast would be able to see exactly what was going on in my Tocker chart at the exact same time in real time. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. We'll go back to the lobby and get out of here. But this functionality is really, really cool because it gives our leaders the capability to be able to go live within their current order flow without having necessarily changed their patterns of how they trade, how often they're in front of the computer. They can do it all very, very quickly and easily right from their browsers. The next portion of the platform is what we call Tocker scores. A frequent problem that traders exhibit when they're going ahead and trading is having many, many different charts and screens open, which can lead to what we call information overload. You're looking at too many charts, you have too many signals firing, too many different indicators. It becomes very, very hard to manage all these different pieces of information all at the same time. So what a Tocker score allows you to do is it allows you to go ahead and to come up with a composite calculation of how you look at indicators, or to follow somebody else's logic if they've created an indicator that you're following, in order to find when significant events occur that might indicate an upward or downward trend in momentum or in price action or whatever it is that you're taking a look at. So to create a Tocker score, all you have to do is to go into the charting portion of the application and go to the left panel here where it says Tocker score. So you could choose one of the Tocker scores of one of our other leaders if you wanted to select another Tocker score, or you could create your own. I'm going to go ahead and choose one that I've already created. And you can see in here that within a Tocker score are what we call inner scores. I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger for you guys because I can see it's a little bit small on that screen over there. So these inner scores are proportionally allocated and associated with different indicators that you might want to look at any given point in time. So let me quickly go ahead and actually clear this out because we already have an indicator open. Let's make it a little bit easier to see. All right, great. And we'll go to a 1-minute time frame so we can see it ticking. Okay, great. So we load our first Tocker score, and you start immediately seeing that we're getting signals on the chart, both for historical bars, and if we were to get a signal on the real-time bar, we would get one here as well. As you hover over the different bars, you see the values of your Tocker score that were associated with it. And then if you want to know why did you get a signal at any given point in time, the way that you would find out why you got a signal would be by clicking on the Tocker score, and then you could start toggling on and off the inner scores within the Tocker score in order to be able to start seeing what had happened. So for instance, if I toggled on my moving average test that I had set up, I would see that the reason why I was getting some of my signals was because I was getting crossovers in the moving averages that I had added to my Tocker score. To set up a Tocker score, it's very, very easy. You go into the settings, you go to change Tocker score, and then you can start having it monitor for crossovers when one indicator output is above or below another indicator output. For breaches and threshold, when one indicator output is greater than or less than some value. And finally, for rising or falling indicators, or many different rising or falling indicators, which we call a strength measurement. All of these different components are completely customizable, or if you don't want to worry about doing this, you can subscribe to a leader's Tocker score yourself. So just to quickly take you through the logic of it, so you have the inner scores, you have the tests within the inner scores, and then based on these concepts of these crossovers, these strength measurements, and these thresholds, you end up getting a score that is either at 100, the most bullish, or at 0, the most bearish. And based on how you allocate the weights to the different factors of your Tocker score, or the person that you subscribe to, is then how bullish or bearish it will show as on your chart. And then based on these different conditions, then you would end up getting a composite score where, depending on the thresholds you set for seeing the pie charts and the arrows, would be then when you would see your alerts firing on the chart. One other thing that we have in the platform that's really, really cool is that if you're looking at a Tocker score, you can use it to compare multiple different time frames in order to be able to figure out when there's divergence between different time frames. So say, for instance, I want to see the difference between the 1-minute chart and the 5-minute chart. I could go to the top of my chart, click on Compare Multiple Time Frames, then click on the other time frames that I wanted to see compared all at the same time. And if I wanted to really get fancy, I could click on Link Crosshair, which would allow me to see exactly where the overlap was occurring between the different time frames that I was taking a look at. So as I scroll on the lesser frequency, I'm seeing that it's quickly moving to show me exactly where that crossover is on the various charts that I'm taking a look at. So let me zoom in a little bit more on all these guys. And you can see that as I scroll through them, that when I got a bullish here, I got a bearish on the 5-minute. So some people, depending on their strategy, might have said that there was a divergence between their 5-minute and their 15-minute chart at this point in time. Okay, so that is a Tocker score, and we're going to move on to the next part of our platform, which we call drag and drop. So the drag and drop algorithm builder was built on legacy technology that had been distributed to hedge funds and family offices for about 9 years. We then took this technology, we combined it together, it's patented, and we brought it to the web, and we made it a lot simpler so that way these institutional tools that the company had been selling to their clients before can be made available to you guys to be able to have the tools to be able to do the same things that quant funds are doing today. So in order to create your first strategy, all you have to do is to go to the right panel and click on Create a Strategy. And you'll see once you've loaded your canvas that we have on the canvas a very, very simple logical statement of if something happens, then I want to buy or sell. So this could be any range of tests, and you could make this infinitely more complicated than what you're seeing on the screen, but this is where we start because this is just logically where most automated trading strategies start. So say that I wanted to go ahead and take a look at a crossover test to see when the MACD was crossed over by the signal line. I could go into the left panel and I could take a look at the different colors in order to decide how I wanted to start my strategy. So logical tests are the basis by which you come up with what you're testing. Then values are your traditional indicators of the different numerical studies that you're running on your different prices. And then your signals are how you're buying in or selling into your strategy. And then if you want to, you can do conditional and price-based exits to get more fancy with how you get out of your given signals. So to start with a logical test, I would go into the left panel and I would drag in a crossover onto the canvas. So I'm dragging in a crossover onto my canvas just like this. And then as soon as I dragged in the crossover, I am presented with the capability to choose what I want the inputs to be for this test. So right now I'm comparing the close price to the close price, which isn't very useful. But what I could do instead is I could look at exactly how indicators compared on each bar. And for this case, it's going to look at it immediately, but I could add a lag if I wanted to as well. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose from our indicators list the MACD. So I'm going to drag this in, and I'm going to drag another one in so that way I can look at a different component of the MACD. In this case, I'm going to look at the signal line. You'll notice that as soon as I dragged in these indicators onto the canvas, that at the top of my screen, I'm seeing those indicators added automatically to the chart at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit darker so you can see it. So now we're seeing a MACD on our SPY. Then every strategy when you're building it has a time interval, at least an initial time interval, which you could change throughout the strategy if you wanted. And it also includes a portfolio, which you can both set up with discrete values, or if you wanted, you could make it so that way it auto rebalances based on a portfolio scanner that we've included in the application as well. If you go to the time interval, I'm going to choose a 5-minute. And if you choose one of your portfolios, I'll choose an equity portfolio. You can then take a look and get some signals really, really quickly to see if your assumptions for the indicators that you're looking at are working. So I'm going to go ahead and add a long position when there's a crossover between the MACD and the signal line. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy 5 shares every single time that there is a crossover. So just to quickly recap, we set a time interval, a portfolio. We're using a logical test to test between a crossover between a MACD and a signal line, and we're going long for 5 shares every time there's that crossover. So real quick, let me go ahead and save the strategy just so that we can come back to it. We go down to 1-minute bars, but then once you start running it, it starts running in real time.
It doesn't support volume charts, range bars, charts.
You can add volume as an indicator to the chart.
Okay, I mean volume bars.
You could create a volume bar. You could use.
Tick-based volume bars.
We don't support tick-based volume bars, no. But if you get a signal on in real time, then it's essentially the same thing. Okay, so once you've added these things onto the chart, I'm going to click on this button here at the top that says Generate Signals. And as soon as I generated the signals, I'm going to start getting, hopefully, crossovers wherever there was a crossover in the MACD. So let me go ahead and expand this guy so we can see the MACD at the same time. And so we got a crossover in the MACD right here. It's really hard to see because it's yellow. Let me make it darker again. Okay, so we got a crossover in the MACD, and we got a long entry. And we could go ahead and we could keep tweaking this if we wanted here, or we could do the part that's a little bit more informative, which is what we call a backtest. So you could run a backtest for all the symbols in your portfolio as far back as the exchanges had data by going ahead and clicking on the backtest button here. Before we go into that, let me just quickly take you through the portfolio screener so you can see kind of where these symbols come from. If we were to load one of our portfolios, in this case the equity portfolio that I just created, you can see that there's 2 ways that you can allocate symbols to your strategy. The first way is that you can just manually add them. So say I wanted to add Microsoft, I could just type in Microsoft here and add it just like that. But the other way that you could add a symbol is you could run a scan in order to determine exactly what you wanted to see in terms of it being automatically rebalancing. So if it says never remove, it's always going to be in your portfolio. But if you were to instead look at, let's just say, the top 50 stocks based on PE ratio and return on equity, in this case it's 20, I could click on scan, and then it would show me all the symbols that were associated based on the conditions that I set up at the top. So you set up your strategy, you set up your portfolio, and then it's time to run your first backtest. So rather than waiting for a backtest to happen, I'm just going to quickly go in and show you what one would look like. That's not it. Here we go. So within a backtest, you'll get a full range of summary statistics of exactly how that strategy did, including how it did versus the different benchmark indexes, all the different outliers that may have happened within the strategy, comparison to Sharpe, Sortino ratio, any of the different statistical studies that you might want to run on that strategy. You could take a look at the trades in that strategy and break it down to see exactly where were your most profitable or least profitable trades. And finally, you could see a breakdown of the different symbols in the portfolio if you wanted to go back, rebalance the portfolio, etc. You can also then quickly go back by clicking on this Edit Parameters and Rerun button, and you can go and you can either edit the pieces in the backtest that you had ran. So what was the portfolio scan frequency? Were you going long and short or both? And also you could edit any of the logic on the canvas to keep going back in a circle and tweaking your strategy until it was as profitable as possible. As a part of this process, when you are done with your strategy, if you like it, you can publish that strategy to your profile, when you can then do one of two things. If you are a leader on the platform and you make the strategy that you put on your profile public, then other users can start subscribing to the signals that your strategy generates without knowing the internal logic of how you set it up. We also just recently came out with a capability for you to be able to import strategy signals from external providers as well. So for instance, if you wanted to bring in a strategy from TradeStation, MetaTrader, eSignal, interactive brokers, or any of the other places where you could create a strategy, we have a very robust API and a very, very helpful integration team that can help you to import your signals into Tocker to sell them through your profile without you necessarily having to use our drag and drop tool if you still want to learn how to use it before you do that. When you go to your profile, people can see the performance of your various strategies. Here's an example of one of mine that seems to be doing pretty well right now. And they can see an in-depth calculation of exactly how it's doing, from which date it was running, and they can calculate how much money they hypothetically would have made if they would have been trading it, as well as how much money you did make when you were running it with either simulated or real money funds. And as you can see, all of the products that I'm selling, all of my ideas and concepts are all for sale from my one unified profile. So let me just quickly take you guys through some of the background on the drag and drop tool, and then we'll go into some more of the fun features. So the rationale behind the drag and drop tool is that there's obviously a million tools out there where you could code up any strategy you wanted. But the downside of using these tools is that a lot of time is spent on bug fixing, on syntax, on worrying about things that might take you too long to be able to take an idea and to test it out very, very quickly. So we definitely don't think that you're going to replace, a custom coded massive endeavor. But what you are going to be able to do is to be able to prospect new strategies, quickly test them, quickly optimize them, and then run them without having to spend hours and hours and hours worrying about the development in the first place. It means that you can design the strategies the way that your brain understands, that you can get instant visual feedback on how they're doing. We handle all the backend in terms of the cloud resources. We are directly connected to the exchanges through our data provider. So as you're using our drag and drop tool, you have the capability to be able to, as you're doing everything in the platform, not have to worry about any of the infrastructure. And if you leave your computer, it's fine, it doesn't matter. So just to quickly take you through these indicator types one more time. The blue is a logical component that lets you make a test happen. The white, is the studies that you're testing with, moving averages, MACDs, etc. You can combine them together in strings if you want. So you can take the MACD of a moving average of you can combine them infinitely as much as you want, and then you can combine them with any logical combination you could possibly want. We also have some really, really powerful, cool features for power users, including you can use things such as exiting on alerts to exit as soon as you get another alert. And within the next quarter, we'll be coming out with genetic optimization as well as an AI-based optimization tool. And we also are going to be supporting options and the next quarter as well. We went through the portfolio scanner. We built a strategy, back test. Okay, so the next piece is when you're running your live strategy is that you have the capability when you're either subscribing to somebody else's strategy or you're running your own to be able to have risk controls to make sure that when you're subscribing to other people's signals or your own, that you're only placing trades the way that you want to and that you're limiting your risk. So from the top panel, we have a tab called Strategy Management. And from the Strategy Management tab, you can decide if you want to turn on auto trading, if you want to round shares to lots, a maximum stop loss for the strategy, which is the maximum amount that the strategy will lose before it turns off the strategy, a maximum account allocation, so how much of your account do you want it to be able to use at any given time, and a maximum trade size as well, so that way it doesn't use too much of your capital for one trade at any given time. Then as the strategies are running, we have a real-time performance monitor It lets you see all of your different signals throughout all of your different strategies, which you can filter by account, as well as by verified trades and by strategy, and open and close positions. As these strategies signals are coming in, on our left panel of our application, you can actually see them appear on your chart in real time as well. So for instance, here's one of my signals that came in just as a demo. And as I zoom in, I can see exactly when this was entered into. And if I wanted to, and I just had alerts on, I wasn't automatically trading, I could just manually trade as these signals were coming in just by clicking on the chart and clicking on the buy into the strategy. Okay, we went through this. Okay, so the next portion of the platform is our really, really robust educational and newsletter portals. So all of our leaders through their profiles are also selling or giving free access to educational content as well as monthly subscription newsletters. We have a partnership with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which has tons and tons of interactive courses on how you can trade futures. If you go into one of the courses that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange has provided us, you can see in-depth calculators, social commenting, and live videos and regular videos that help you to learn about what's going on in the market. And if you look at our various different leaders in the platform, you'll see that many of them have very similar educational opportunities that you can either purchase or get for free as well. We also have a newsletter portal where you can get monthly newsletters as well, such as like a daily market intelligence report, in order to be able to come to Ticker Talker for not just all the other products you're taking a look at, but also for your newsletters as well, so that you don't have to get a million things in your inbox. So that, in a nutshell, is the Ticker Talker platform, and we have some more time, so I can definitely go through some specific answers to questions if you guys have them. But for being at the demo here today, you guys will get, in addition to a 14-day or 30-day free trial, 50% off your access to Ticker Talker by using the code TRADERS50. It's $80 per month for investors, and it's $100 per month for leaders after the 50% off. And we'll be at booth 117 if you guys want to talk there as well. But with that, I will be opening up for questions. Yeah.
You said you provide sharp ratios once you post your algorithm?
Yep. We provide sharp ratios. We actually have an in-depth leaderboard where you can see all of the different, you can filter the strategies by many different factors like profit factor, sharp ratio, Sortino ratio, annual return, average win, average loss, drawdown, things like that. So we have a very, very robust set of ways for you to find and filter the strategies that you want to find within the platform. Yeah.
Is there a reason you guys chose the drag and drop functionality instead of just a slider on the left you can take things off on?
Because the drag and drop tool really lets you emulate almost anything you'd be able to do in a trading language. So what I showed you guys was a very, very basic example of what you could do with the tool. But you could, combine many different logical statements together. So you could have this, and also add like nested if-then and if-then else's into your strategy, and really make it really, really complex. We have this functionality called blocks, where you could go ahead and actually save large pieces of the strategy together to reuse them later. So because we have all these things combined all together, it gives you the capability to be able to do almost anything you'd be able to do in easy language or another coding language like that, but with not having to code anything. Additionally, this tool, as I said, was built on this institutional offering that they had before. So we have a lot of functionality that has been really tested by real people in the market, and because of that, the tool is set up in a way where it fulfills the things that the more institutional people are looking for.
Where do you store this stuff? Is this locally on the computer? Or
It's all in the cloud. Unless you're importing signals from an external provider, and then it would be wherever your external provider was storing them. Yeah.
So it means I purchased your service on top of my other trading account. Let's say I didn't have a TV and a trade, so I traded with them, but I have to go over to your platform and then click it through to that.
Right, so we are completely broker agnostic, so we don't make any fees on commissions or on trades or anything like that. We have partnerships with tons and tons of different brokers, which you can then link to your Ticker Talker account through the right panel. So this is a demo, so it's only showing one of them, but let's just say I was going to use CQG as one of my brokers. All I would have to do to add them to the platform would be to click Add, and then log in, and then I would just link my broker account by clicking login to the Ticker Tocker platform, and then I would be able to place trades directly through that broker from Ticker Tocker immediately. So all the different partners that you see on the homepage are providers that we either are already integrated with or that will be integrated with very, very soon. So all these people that you see here, including TD Ameritrade. And so when we bring up TD Ameritrade in the next couple of weeks, you'll be able to then just link your TD Ameritrade account and get going.
When you say TD Ameritrade, talking about Thinkorswim also?
Yeah, Thinkorswim is owned by TD Ameritrade.
That's already connected?
It'll be connected in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. We do not currently support crypto, but we are about to get licensing within the next month, and then we will be opening up for crypto.
What will you be listing or be able to trade?
I don't think that we've actually gotten to the place where we've scoped it out yet, but we'll be working with, what are they called? With Bitfinex and Coinbase as our providers. So if they have it, then chances are we'll have it on the platform.
If you connect to CQG, do you get the data from CQG or do you have your own data source?
We have our own data source included with your subscription to Ticker Tocker, as long as you're not a professional, is real-time and historical data for all of the major American exchanges for futures, forex, and equities. So all of our data comes through a vendor called ActiveTick, but that data is essentially unprocessed data that comes directly from the exchanges.
Could you switch that slide that's got the discount?
Oh, to the last slide in the PowerPoint? Yeah, sure. No problem. Great. Does anybody have anything else?
Yeah, are there any educational videos?
Yeah.
What we did here today?
Yeah, so we have a really, really in-depth YouTube channel that has tons and tons of information about the platform. So all you have to do is go to YouTube and type in Ticker Tocker. And you'll see that both the demo that I gave today, as well as videos covering almost everything that you've learned about the platform and more, are individually laid out as all these videos in here. And we also have within the platform a help desk and a set of tooltip videos where wherever you see these, sorry, I clicked the wrong place. Wherever you see these little question marks, if you click them, then you'll get little help desks that'll pop up to show you how the different pieces of the platform work. And then if you click on the How to Use Ticker Tocker button, then we also have a really, really beautiful page that lays out exactly how many different parts of the platform work as well. We also have a live help desk, and you can always chat with a support representative during market hours.
And anyone at all can post an algorithm to be a bidder?
Yep, the way that we qualify it is that we verify the identities of people who are doing it, and then we verify their trading performance, and then we let our users decide based on their social clout and their performance if they would like to subscribe to them or not. No.
An individual trader, retail guy, or
You can be a guy in your basement, or you can be on CNBC, which are two types of people we already have. And based on that, then as long as you're winning in your trades, then people will subscribe to you. Great. Well, thank you guys very much.